What's up, y'all? It's your man, Dad Dude, bringing you guys another video. My channel is almost to 150 subscribers, which may not seem like a lot, but that's a lot to me. So I just want to take a second to thank you guys for the support. And if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, go hit that button. And while you're down there, hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. Now, getting into this video, we are only days away from week 1 of the 2022 NFL season. I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually very excited. I know some of you think that I'm only negative about the Panthers, but that could be far from the truth. While I don't think they'll win a lot of games this year, I think, they'll win 7 or 8. I am very excited about what the team can do. I think they'll be at the very least competitive in every game. And if you're competitive in every game, you could easily go from 7 to 8 wins to maybe 10 or 11 and get into the playoffs. I don't think that'll happen, but I see the avenues as to where it could. I see the potential in this team. I think this team could be dangerous in a lot of ways. So I'm excited about this season. And that means I'm excited about week 1 against the Cleveland Browns. Now, when I first saw this game on the schedule, I thought, the Panthers would not for sure win, but I had them winning by a decent margin. But the more and more I've thought about this game, the closer and closer it's gotten. And now I'm to the point where, I wouldn't say it's a straight up coin flip, but I do think the teams are actually pretty even matched. And I could see where the Browns do win this game and the Panthers lose. Now, I'm rooting for the Panthers. The Panthers are my team. But I got to be realistic. I got to at least try to be objective in this. And I think there are ways for the Browns to pull this game out and win. If we're comparing skill positions and we're comparing talent on these teams, they're very comparable. I think the Panthers obviously had a better quarterback with Baker Mayfield. Jacoby Brissett is a really good backup, but, in this league, he is just a really good backup. Whereas Baker Mayfield, even though I'm not a Baker fan, I have always said he is at the very least a capable NFL starting quarterback, which you can win games with a capable NFL starting quarterback. And that is what he is, in my opinion. So the Panthers have the advantage at the quarterback position. When it comes to the skill position, the Browns have the advantage at running back with their two-headed monster of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That just beats out whatever the Panthers can put on the field when it comes to McCaffrey, and whether it's Chuba Hubbard or whether it's Dante Foreman. Because right now, I don't expect for Laviska Shenault to factor into this game much, even though I really think he has a lot of potential in that hybrid receiver running back role. He's only been on the roster for less than 2 weeks now, I want to say. He hasn't had time to learn offense. They can maybe put in a few plays for him, like a few gadget plays here and there. But I don't think he'll factor much into this game, just given he hasn't been on the team for all that long. So comparing the running backs, the Browns have the advantage with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. If we're comparing receivers, I think the Panthers might have the advantage here, but it's not a big advantage in my opinion, right? So I think still at this point in his career, Amari Cooper is a better receiver than DJ Moore. I think Amari Cooper is just a better route runner and all around just a better receiver. Not a much better receiver. I think DJ Moore is nipping at his heels and has more potential with what he can be in his career. But right now, I believe Amari Cooper is still a better receiver. When we're comparing the number 2 receivers, whether you want Donovan Peoples-Jones or Robbie Anderson, probably boils down to what you want in your number 2. Do you want a speed guy who can take the top off the defense, create space for others, or do you want a guy who has, he can be a reliable reliable with his hands and be more of a possession receiver with a bigger body possession receiver? Which one do you want in your number 2? Probably depends on which one you think is the better player. I'd rather have Robbie Anderson. I'd rather have more of a speed guy. But if you'd rather have a big body receiver who can be a good possession receiver, you probably go with Donovan Peoples-Jones. It's not, I don't think one's really better than the other, more so what your system is and what you want in a number 2 receiver. If we're going with offensive lines, even though in the past Cleveland has had really good O-lines, their O-line this year isn't as good as it has been in the past. And the Panthers O-line is up and coming. Now we get to see how good their O-line will be with, Ekunwa, Christensen moving into guard. We don't know if Bosan's going to play this week at center. Moton's always solid at at right tackle. But the line was really, really bad last year for the Panthers. If they can be just a serviceable line, just a decent line this year, that would be a huge improvement. So the offensive lines might be a wash. Where I think the Panthers might really get into trouble in this game is dealing with the monsters of, Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, because the matchup you don't want for your rookie left tackle in Ekunwa or Ekwonu. I keep saying Ekunwa, but his name is Ekwonu. The matchup you don't want for your rookie left tackle in Ekwonu is Myles Garrett or Jadeveon Clowney, but especially Myles Garrett, who might be the best defensive end in the NFL. I think this is going to go very badly for Ekwonu. Not because he's bad, not because I don't think he'll have a great career eventually. It's just that he's a rookie left tackle going against who might be the best defensive end in the NFL. I could easily see Myles Garrett having 3 sacks in this game, a few batted passes, maybe force a fumble or something like that, having a huge impact on this game. And if you're going to double Myles Garrett, that opens up for everyone else. Now you're getting maybe a one-on-one matchup with Jadeveon Clowney, which he doesn't get a lot of sacks, but he does create pressures, and he's still a very good defensive end. But also where Clowney factors in even more is that Clowney is great against the run. So if you have Clowney, he's really great against the run, and he's helping. I'm not going to say shut down McCaffrey because McCaffrey is that good when healthy. He can't really be shut down. But if Clowney can help limit what McCaffrey is doing, that's going to make Baker have to throw even more, giving more chances for Myles Garrett to beat Ekwonu and affect the offense. It's just, I think the Cleveland Browns defensive line is just a nightmare matchup for the Panthers O-line going into week 1 before they've had a lot of time to gel and, work out the kinks here and there before Ekwonu has had time to gain experience. This is a nightmare matchup, and I can see it going very, very badly just off the matchup in the trenches when it comes to the Cleveland Browns defensive line against the Panthers offensive line. I could easily see Myles Garrett having 2 or 3 sacks, Clowney having another one, and from the pressures they get, from the pressure they generate, maybe forcing a pick or a fumble from Baker Mayfield, which could throw this game all out of whack. And the Cleveland Browns defense isn't just their defensive line. Denzel Ward is an elite corner in this league. He is probably a top 3 corner. You could argue he's up there with Jalen Ramsey when it comes to how good of a corner he is. The guy is that great. I'm assuming he's gonna follow DJ Moore around. That might take DJ Moore out of the game completely, given that I'm expecting for Baker Mayfield to be under duress for a large portion of this game. So when you have Baker not having a lot of time, you have Denzel Ward being one of the best corners in this league, that could take DJ Moore out of this game. You have Clowney, who's really great against the run. That could limit somewhat what McCaffrey can do. Then it's up to the Panthers' other skill position guys. Can Robbie Anderson win his matchups? Can Shi Smith win his matchups? Can Rashad Higgins win his matchups with a quarterback who's under pressure for most of the game? We don't yet know that. So given that the Cleveland Browns defense is so good, I could easily see where the Panthers offense might struggle in this game, even though I have a video up where I make the case where the Panthers offense can be very dangerous this year. And I still believe that. It's just that their matchup in week 1 against the Cleveland Browns is not a favorable matchup. Now, the Panthers defense is also very dangerous, just like the Cleveland Browns defense. But it's not as well-rounded, especially on the defensive front, like the Cleveland Browns. Whereas Brian Burns is a very skilled pass rusher. He has some great skills, especially his speed rush. He's really good against his pass rush, While he hasn't had double-digit sacks, you can obviously see the talent in Brian Burns. Where Brian Burns is not good is against the run. He is not good at the point of attack against the run. He's great, a weak side defender. He can get a lot of chase down tackles that way. But when the runs are coming at him, or he blocking him as the focal point of that run play, he's not so great, largely due to his size. He's just on the thinner side for a lot of defensive ends. Or unlike Myles Garrett is great with the pass rush. He's also really good against the run. Brian Burns is only good with the pass rush. He's kind of a weak point on the defensive line when it comes to the run game. So maybe that's where Yetur Gross-Matos comes in. Maybe he can be a little more solid against the run. He's a little bigger than Brian Burns. Maybe that's where he helps out. Hopefully that's where Derek Brown comes in and he can hold the point of attack and he can give us a stout line against the run. But again, a lot of these things are yet to be seen. We know Derek Brown has the talent. We've seen him flash and do some really great things, but he hasn't had sustained level of greatness when it comes to the regular season. Well, he's only played in the regular season, but he hasn't had sustained level of greatness yet. So I could see the Cleveland Browns having some success on the ground and that opening things up for Jacoby Brissett to have a little success in the pass game. Not a lot, because the Panthers corners are really good. Dante Jackson is a really good number 2 corner, and J.C. Horn seems like he has the potential to be a perennial all-pro cornerback. The guy has everything you want. He has the size. He has the speed. He's physical. He can play the ball in the air. He can come up and help and run support. The guy all around has all the tools you would ever want in a corner. It's just, we want to see him stay healthy, see what he can do over the course of the season. But the potential is obviously there. But given that the matchup in the trenches does favor the Cleveland Browns, I got to say, I can see the Browns winning this game. And the more I think about it, the more I start to lean, unfortunately, to the Browns maybe winning this game. When I first saw this game on the schedule, I thought for sure the Panthers winning this game. It's Jacoby Brissett. The Browns are coming in. The Panthers have all this hype behind them. Baker Mayfield is going to be out for revenge. But this game, I really don't think is going to hinge on Baker. Like, if Baker can handle, being under duress very well, then great. But every quarterback is worse under pressure. That's no knock against Baker. That if a guy's in his face, he might throw a pick, or he might fumble the ball, or he might make a mistake. That's not a knock against him. That's every quarterback is worse under pressure. So I'm just starting to think that with the Cleveland Browns defensive line being as good as it is, with Myles Garrett going against a rookie left tackle in Ekwonu, and then you have Jadeveon Clowney wreaking havoc along the line because he can play inside, he can play outside, he can do a lot of things. I gotta say, the more I think about this game, the more I lean towards the Cleveland Browns winning. So I gotta go with the Cleveland Browns in this one. Unfortunately, I think Cleveland's gonna win this game. I had the final score being 24-21 or 24-17, somewhere around there. And I didn't even mention that the Panthers were going into this game without Zane Gonzalez. They're bringing in a new kicker. We don't know how reliable he's going to be. He could miss a few field goals, which could drastically change the outcome of the game. So, unfortunately, guys, I got to go with the Cleveland Browns. I think they win this game, unfortunately. I think the Panthers start the season 0-1, which would be a bummer. But, again, I still think they will at least be competitive. So, yeah, if I got the Panthers starting out 0-1, I think Cleveland wins 24-17. Probably going to suck, because all the excitement going into this season. I'm excited. A lot of people are excited. But I don't think the hype is going to come through for week 1. It's just a bad matchup when it comes to our offensive line versus the Cleveland Browns defensive line. And I think that's going to be the downfall for the Panthers against the Browns. That's all I have for you on this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, go hit that thumbs up. And if you are so inclined, smash that subscribe button while you're down there. Also leave a comment. I respond to almost everything. Let me know if you disagree. Maybe you think the Panthers should roll over the Browns and this game should be fairly easy. Let me know. Again, I respond to almost everything. And I will see you guys in the next one.